On that same day, while a boy was born into mud and silence, another child entered the world above the fields, not farther in time, only higher in place. From the villages below, the castle had always been visible, a shape against the sky, stone rising where soil failed. Every farmer saw it daily. Most never stepped inside. The castle stood on the mountain not for beauty, but for distance. Distance from hunger, distance from disease, distance from those who worked the land. Its walls were thick, its gates heavy, its shadow long. From the fields below, it looked permanent, as if it had always been there, as if it always would be. The castle did not feed the villages, it watched them. Inside those walls, the air was warmer. Candles burned without fear of running out. Clean cloth waited. Water was carried, not fetched. Servants moved with purpose. Midwives spoke in calm voices. When the child was born, bells rang, not loudly, but deliberately. This birth was not a question, it was an expectation. Before the child arrived, a priest climbed the stone steps, not summoned in panic, not called in hope. He came because it was expected. His robes were clean, his hands unshaken. In the villages below, priests arrived after death. Here, he came before life. Candles were lit while the child was still unborn. Prayers were spoken to shape a future not yet seen. The priest stood beside the Lord and Lady, not to comfort, but to witness. This birth was already recorded in ink, already folded into destiny. No one asked if the child would live. They asked what he would mean. When the child finally cried, the sound echoed against stone. Warmth followed instantly. Cloth wrapped him, hands steadied him. The priest leaned forward, not to check his breathing, but to mark him. Holy water touched his forehead before the mountain wind ever could. This child is born beneath watchful walls, the priest said, not by chance, but by order. He lifted his eyes to the Lord. He will not know hunger as others do. He will not fear winter as others must. He will command more than land. He will command men. The priest looked down at the child. His name will be Edric, he said, and it will be spoken before he is seen. The prophecy did not promise kindness. It promised weight. Far below the castle, the peasant boy's birth had no witness but pain, no prophecy but survival. No one said his name would matter. No one said it would not. The child in the castle did not sleep on straw. He was laid in linen. His cries were answered quickly, not out of love alone, but duty. He was not held with calculation. He was held with assurance. He would eat. He would live. Winter would not decide his fate. Above the fields, survival was assumed. His father was the Lord of the mountain, a man whose name appeared in records, a man whose word carried weight beyond his voice. He did not work the land worked for him. From his halls he could see the villages below, tiny clusters of roofs, moving specks during harvest. They were not strangers, they were assets. From the height of the mountain, the world looked orderly, clean, predictable. He did not remember sickness. There were doctors before pain, herbs before infection, warm rooms before fever. Disease was something that happened elsewhere, in stories, in villages without walls. He would hear whispers of plague only after it had passed him by, like a storm that chose another road. He never knew famine. Food arrived on time, every season. Bread was not counted. Meat was not rare. Hunger was a word used by stewards, not a feeling known by children. When harvests failed below, The castle doors remained closed and the tables remained full. The mountain protected him from empty fields. Taxes were not something he paid. They were something collected. He watched wagons climb the road, heavy with grain and coin. He did not know the cost of that weight, only that it arrived because it always had. War, when it came, never came close. From the walls, he could see movement far below, shields flashing like insects in the sun. The sound never reached him. By the time screams might have traveled uphill, they had already stopped. Invaders died in the fields, at the gates, on roads his feet never touched. The castle remained untouched. He slept through battles that ended bloodlines. He learned early where to stand, on the highest wall, next to his father. From there, he could see men die for a name he carried but did not yet understand. Armor moving forward, bodies falling backward. They did not look like heroes from that height. They looked small, replaceable. No one explained this to him. It was simply how the world worked. People fought so the castle stayed standing. People starved so the mountain remained fed. People died so he could grow older. He did not feel cruel. He felt normal. When everything is arranged to protect you, you never learn what danger feels like, only what distance feels like. Below, lives were fragile. Above, life was assured. The mountain taught Edric this lesson daily without words. And as he grew, he would never ask why suffering always stopped before it reached him. Some truths are invisible when you are born above them. 2 boys were born that day, one beneath stone and scripture, one beneath sky and silence. One entered a world explained, the other unexplained. Neither chose where he began, and neither yet knew that their lives, though separated by stone and soil, were already connected. History had not finished with them, it had only placed them.